So I think that it's important to have community control over police because community voice, community input should be involved heavily on the prevention side of how policing happens in the first place.
For far too long, police officers have continued to abuse their power and target our Black and Brown communities.
We have had to witness and watch other communities dictate to us how it is that we should be policed.
In order to avoid more police killings and abuse, the community must have control over police departments.
We allow police department-based good old boys clubs to render decisions that do not create accountability for officers when they cause harm in our communities.
The community needs the ability to levy consequences against those that do us harm. And so that's why community control of police is so important.
Victims of police misconduct and the community at large should have access to police misconduct records
to ensure community members who are fearing retaliation by police or fearing that their cases will not be taken seriously could follow along on the investigation process.
It arms the community with the information it needs about the patterns of behavior of law enforcement officials so that we can actually hold the department accountable for disciplining police officers that engage in misconduct and brutality.
In 2015, while protesting during the Freddie Gray uprising, I was maced profusely on national television by an officer who I came to learn about 3 years later was being prosecuted as one of the egregious members of the Baltimore City Gun Trace Task Force. Had we had access to police disciplinary records, that officer could have been held accountable years prior.
You have families that I know for a fact have been fighting for over 28 years to get records that are involving the murder of their loved one, their son, or what have you. We just want transparency. I don't understand what the problem is. We ask that you call Maryland Speaker Adrian Jones
and Maryland Senate President Bill Ferguson.
Tell them to pass the police reform bills
that gives community control over law enforcement
and gives the public access to police disciplinary records.